Go faster! Here's a stick for you! Hit him! Hit him! Edier shouted at me. I was standing all sweaty with a thick stick in my hands and a living sack lying next to me. Edier was forcing me to hit it. There was nothing left for me to do but swing and... Hello, everybody. My name is Juan. I'm originally from Colombia. I was born and raised there, and I really want to share my story with you. I think you can take something from it. Take into account my mistakes so you won't make the same mistakes in your life. The thing is, I'm very much a gambler. It's my curse and my weak spot. As my grandmother used to say, when my parents prayed, they had Sarah, my sister. And when they stopped, they had me. Never mind. My grandmother has had dementia for years. Therefore, I'm not offended by her words. She was already like that when I was born. So I'm just glad she's still alive. Sarah and I have no one else besides her. Our parents died in an accident. Grandma, with her dementia, could have lost us, but by that time, my sister had come of age. She officially became the guardian of me and my grandmother, and the burden of responsibility for both of us fell on her shoulders. Yeah, I don't envy her. That's not all. I'm different from the other kids, you know? The thing is, I have a gambling addiction. I've been like that for as long as I can remember. For example, I go to school. Not far from me is a boy of my age. We are just walking parallel to each other. He does not even notice me, but I've already begun to make a running trajectory and determine the speed to overtake him. That's okay. I once tried to outrun a train. Do you think the train won? Yeah, that's right. But I don't care as much about winning as I do about the process. In the adrenaline rush, I'm just happy. But things have changed a lot since my folks died. Sarah was so burdened with taking care of the house, taking care of me, taking care of my grandmother, and still having to earn money that her mood changed a lot. I understood her and I sympathized, but it didn't make me any happier. And I was screwed and then screwed up. If you didn't know what the real most epic cringe looked like, take a look at my sister's face. That day, my grandmother was sitting on the kitchen floor eating candy. As I walked by, I asked her what she was eating. She just pointed her finger at the table where the white jar was laying. The idea came up on its own. Hey, Grandma, let's see who can eat the candy first. I dumped the pile on the floor and we split it in half. 3, 2, 1, go. Grandma and I raced to eat the candy. It tasted weird, but I didn't want to lose, so I didn't have time to think. We laughed a lot at this point, and I felt happy again. Until, with bags full of groceries, Sarah walked into the house. Along with her came a social worker from social services. Only later we were told that the jar contained not candy, but laxative pills. In general, if the end point to the bathroom is considered a victory, then my grandmother and I lost. Social services issued a warning, and Sarah imposed sanctions on me for a while. Plus, she made me promise that I wouldn't get involved with any more gambling. It was hard for me. I especially loved street gambling in our neighborhood, in the slums. That's where I met Edier. He made money from gambling, from cards to pebble games. I just loved them. 2 weeks went by, and I was having a hard time keeping up. I saw excitement everywhere, even just looking at the wind wobbling the leaves. I could have changed nature itself and run ahead of it. But instead, I was an obedient little brother, doing my big sister's bidding. This threw me into despair. I became really depressed, but I remember the promise. One day, Sarah asked me to buy some vegetables to take home. I went to the market and met Edier there. He knew me well, greeted me with a smile, and prepared a stone on which I usually sat during the game. But I turned him down, explaining that I wasn't involved in that kind of thing anymore. Edier couldn't believe it, tempted me, showed me the rock, the cards, and straight up persuaded me to stay for 4 minutes. Honestly, I could barely resist. And then I heard a caller, like a job exchange. I was looking for part-time work, so I reached out and got lucky and was chosen to carry bags of goods. I made some money. I was satisfied. I bought home not only vegetables, but also fruit, some medicine for my grandmother, and saved some money for Sarah. I wanted to make her happy. I realized I was enjoying doing useful things instead of losing all my money at games. I got home late, walked in with a smile and some packages. I didn't expect to be greeted like this. Are you doing it again? I told you not to play anymore. What? What are you talking about? You're playing again. What? No, I haven't played since I promised. Don't lie to me. I saw you. You messed with that Edier again. He offered you something, didn't he? No, it's not like that. I earned the money. Here, look. Here are the groceries. Put them away. I'm not touching that dirty money and groceries, understand? You promised and you broke your promise. But Sarah, I don't want to hear it. If anyone from social services sees you gambling, everything will be ruined. You'll be taken to an orphanage and your grandmother to a nursing home. No matter what I said, Sarah just couldn't hear me. The words ran out and I started getting angry. And then my sister pulled out a picture of me standing and chatting with Edier, explaining again that I was just talking to him didn't make sense to someone who didn't initially believe me. She's just doubting me, I realized, and threw all the groceries in the trash. Then I slammed the door and left. Sarah was in tears and my anger was boiling over. The worst part was that I was really trying. I was holding on and I was doing well. When the people around you don't believe in you, you can drop the situation. But it's different when your family doesn't believe in you. Am I wrong? What do you think? I didn't give myself credit. Immediately, I called Edier and agreed to the game. Now that's different, he said. That night, I emptied all the money I'd earned. I couldn't stop playing because I got sucked in. I foolishly blurted out that I was betting on my life. Edier agreed right away. From now on, you'll do whatever I tell you, he said. Yeah, go ahead and hide the stone, I replied. The little black stone that Edier hid from one cup to the other, I never lost sight of. It was my favorite game because I often won. My pupils were running, easily keeping up with Edier's hands. Right there! The rock is there! I shouted. Edier picked up the cup, but it was empty. My acquaintance David filmed the whole thing on his camera phone, saying it was the most botched win in the history of the slum game. They watched the video over and over again. The most epic in it was my face. I'll send it to your sister. Let her see you embarrass yourself, David said in my ear. I wanted to hit him, but I didn't have the time. Edier told me to go get him some food. My lifelong debt I began to pay off right away. First, run out and get this and that. Give him a foot massage, get him some food. At home, my relationship with my sister remained strained, and on the other side, Edier was always bugging me. After 3 days, I realized that I could not live like this and offered Edier a contract, compensation in the form of money and my release. Edier immediately told me a decent amount, but I agreed right away. I'd rather pay him in the money than have him torture me. But then he said that I had one last job to do. Edier was no ordinary teenager. He was notable for his cruelty to animals, tortured, abused. No one ever said a word to him because he could have been punched in the face. I wasn't wrong. He led me to the outskirts of the slums, near the garbage dump, told me to take a bag and put 2 puppies in it. Sarah kept calling me, but I didn't pick up. I didn't want to have to take a lecture from her. Not now. So she called David. She's coming to see you screw up too, so don't let her down, David said. The jerk told her where we were. I did as Edier told me, but that wasn't all. Hurry up, here's a stick for you. Hit him. Hit him! What? No, I won't hit him. Then you'll be my slave for life. Hit him and I'll make a video. No, I can't. They're puppies. I said hit him. I cried. I felt sorry for the animals, but I knew that Edier wouldn't leave me alone. I took a proper swing and heard Sarah's voice. Stop! Don't do it! I froze. Edier met Sarah's eyes. Come to see your loser brother? I've been dreaming of this day for a long time, Edier. The guests are coming and they'll finally have an excuse to arrest you. What? Are you kidding me? Actually, it's your brother who makes fun of animals, not me. Right? What about fraud? What? Sarah showed a video on her phone, zoomed in and slowed it down. It didn't show well, but you could still see how Edier threw the rock when he played, so I didn't find it. He started denying everything, saying I was just a loser, that's all. But Sarah stood up for me. Edier shouted that if I didn't hit the sack, he'd give me hell on earth. I swung and hit him in the stomach with all my might with that stick. Sarah untied the sack and pulled out the puppies. Edier wanted to attack me, but I hit him again. Cheater! You dirty bastard! What? Look at you, you freak! You're just a loser who can't control his gambling addiction. People like you lose money, and people like me are feared. You're wrong, Edier. People like you are going to jail, I said, and punched him in the face. For the first time in my life, I answered someone. I defended myself, my sister, and I liked it. The guys didn't listen to Edier, even though he told them to attack me. They all ran away, and we met the police. Everything is fine now. They wanted to catch Edier for a long time, but they couldn't. And then the video served as proof, thanks to David and Sarah. I haven't played anything since. We have 2 puppies in the house that I take care of now. That's a high. Tell me, guys, did you like my story? Write your opinion about it in the comments below the video. Don't forget to like, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.